Hello, good afternoon. Yes, at last, at long last, the opening of the Five Nations Championship of 1985. And what an opening it proved to be. Here at Twickenham, England trying to play their way out of trouble against everyone's Grand Slam favourites, France. And at Muddyfield, the reigning Grand Slam champions Scotland in action against Ireland, the side that Scotland trounced out of sight last year to win the Triple Crown. And let's start at Muddyfield as we go there now amidst the great atmosphere to join Bill McLaren with Gareth Edwards.
And good afternoon from Murrayfield, where I'm delighted to tell you the conditions have improved tremendously since this morning. In fact, we had a shaft of sunlight here not so long ago, and that really is something over the last couple of days. Quite a lot of heavy rain this morning, and that pitch down there is a little bit soft on top. But it really is a credit to Jim Payne, the groundsman, and to the ground committee that they've got it in such good order. And the big crowd here of just about 58,000 are sitting back in great anticipation of what I think everybody feels has all the ingredients for a tremendous sporting international. And the Scottish side there are short of 7 of their Grand Slam regulars, but there's still loads of experience with 6 British Lions, 218 caps in all, and just 2 new to a major international, Keith Murray and Ivan Tukalo. Back division orchestrated by the old firm of John Rutherford and Roy Laidlaw for the 24th major international together. Both the original props have been replaced there by Jerry McGuinness and Norrie Rowan. And John Jeffrey seeks to emulate the feats of David Leslie. 11 border club representatives there, 2 of them in charge. Colin Deans as pack leader and Roy Laidlaw captain for the 5th time in a major international. There's a very exciting look indeed to the Irish back division that carries a sharp cutting edge. A standoff Paul Dean who enjoys igniting his three-quarter line, in which the 21-year-old Brendan Mullen has hinted at high potential. A lot of responsibility on the little scrum half Michael Bradley there, in wake of a mobile but an inexperienced pack, with its one great elder statesman Phil Orr playing in his 45th major international. And the players coming out onto the field. Number 2 there, Ciaran Fintan Fitzgerald. Look at the way he tries to lift his side as they come out. And there'll be a great roar for them because there are a lot of Irish supporters here. Of Jed Forrest leads out the Scottish side, and listen to the roar for them. Now there's another little bit of history being made today in the referee in charge of this match. There he is down there in the white jersey. Steve Strydom is the first South African to have charge of an international championship game. The 46-year-old director of sport at the University of the Orange Free State. So this Royal Bank International all set to go as Peter Dodds prepares to get the kick away. The referee checks that Ireland are all set. The whistle goes, and Dodds gets the game started. Well, that was a funny one. Seemed to be caught by McNeil first, but it went on to Ringland, and he's put in a lovely kick to start off with. Just at the back there, number 8 is Brian Spillane, the new number 8, one of the new caps in the Irish side, and there is a job he does well. He went down to clean it. This is Dean along the line to Kiernan. Crossan coming into the line. A marvellous run here by Ireland. Mullen, it's going to be a try for Hugo McNeil. Across comes Tukalo, and what a brilliant tackle by Tukalo. The new cap in the game right away. What a superb try-saving tackle. It was such a thump, it knocked the ball out of the big fullback's hands. Scotty scrum held firm, and Rutherford does the rest. Well, there's no doubt in John Rutherford's mind what he had to do just now, but he had the confidence to go onto the weaker left foot, and that was good.
We'll probably see this move now, see how they brought the wing into the line, and of course support from the Irish as usual. This is a fabulous tackle by Tuchelo, the sort of tackle that anybody would have wanted in his 50th international.
That's the sharp one taken by Lenihan. Bradley, Dean, Kiernan. Ringland well tackled. What a drive by the Scottish forward. But away there. Beautifully out from Lenihan, but the pass just wasn't going to hand. And already there's an injury to one of the Scots away over in the middle of the pitch on the 22. Keith Robertson is the injured player being tended there by David McLean. John Beattie won it. Now it's out to Laidlaw. Well, the Irish know all about Laidlaw from last season. The pick up there by Murray, but a penalty for not allowing the release. So the first kick at goal of the match falls to Peter Dodge. And the Irish also know about this fella. There's the shot from the terracing behind the goalposts. Peter Dodge taking a bit longer than usual. Yes. Well, the little delay was worthwhile. And what joy there. Scotland 3-0 up. And I suppose a little bit against the run of play.
This is the incident that brought about the penalty. Scotland had got out of defence. You see how they tried to look for the opportunity to move the ball. Now, I think that maybe the referee gave the tackle for the penalty for a high tackle, which looked, in retrospect, a little severe.
And couldn't quite hold it. Bradley feeds. Dean. Nigel Carr wasn't ready for it. Good ball for the Scots to win. Laidlaw. Rutherford, well tackled by Dean. Irish forwards quicker to that ball. Bradley goes. Dean, lovely pass out there to Spillane. Spillane, the number 8 forward. Beautiful tackle by Jeffrey. Ringland caught, gives it on to Millen. That pass looked a little bit forward. Lenihan dashing on. Penalty for handling the ball out of the tackle. But what a good move that was. The Irish really kept it going, Gareth, didn't they?
There were some wonderful individual skills there. One-handed catches, one-handed passing, you know, close backup. Ireland are really playing well. Watch these now. Watch how the number 8 is taking the man out of the tackle, handing it on. Now, people don't realise what a big man Ringland is. And how Donald Lenihan actually got hold of that ball, I'll never know.
Remarkable stuff for a lock forward. Shows you how high their skills have to be nowadays as well. At one time they looked at the ball as if it was something strange, but now they know what to do with it. Tom Smith palms, Laidlaw, Rutherford. Out there to Keith Murray, the switch to Roger Baird. Roger Baird, oh, nice pass to Rutherford. This is Tuchelo. Tuchelo, a lovely cross kick. Up is Jeffrey, but Dean waits there. Tackled by Jeffrey. Feeds on to Spillane. Out to Crossan. Crossan knocked down by Robertson. Baird up. Beattie's with him as well. Laidlaw goes. Out there to Robertson. Knocked down there by Crossan. So Keith Crossan, the little wing, saved Ireland on that occasion. And he'll be happy that the referee decided it wasn't a deliberate knock forward. And that would be my impression as well. Now John Beattie has gone into a different position between flanker and lock. That's why, to give Laidlaw the chance. Rutherford trying to go past Dean. In there came Murray. Good Irish defence. Pick up by Norrie Rowan. Keith Robertson with a drop goal. It looked wobbly, but it's there. Keith Robertson's third drop goal for Scotland to add to his 5 tries. Scotland 6-0 up. They've played 29 minutes.
Well, Phil, as you've said so many times, it doesn't matter how it goes over as long as it gets in between the posts and across that crossbar.
Spillane takes. Fed from McCoy. Bradley to Dean. Dummy run by Kiernan. Mullin. Oh, a rather wild pass, but Tukolo missed Ringland. Robertson gets him, but Ringland, as Gareth said earlier, a big heavy boy you have to nail to the floor. Now it's Bradley. Dean again. Mullin the chip through. There's a lot of space as Crossan comes up. And Roger Baird wasn't quite sure, I think, whether Peter Dodge was going to come in or not. But quite rightly in the end, got his own boot to it. What a great atmosphere here among the 58,000 crowd at Murrayfield. I think they all know that Scotland have been on the rack and could have been well behind at this stage. Fitzgerald again, Lenihan beautifully up. Bradley once again to Dean. The drop goal by Kiernan. It's perfect. Ireland deserved that. Michael Kiernan dropped his goal to sit alongside his 2 tries and 3 penalty goals. And Ireland are delighted. They deserved it.
Well, Ireland have won some superb ball from Donald Lenihan, and this being another one. Lovely pass, but look how Dean gives Kiernan the time for the drop goal, and a well-deserved one at that.
Dodge, high and long, and Ringland left it. And the Scots have got a brilliant touch out of it. Look at John Jeffrey there, and Colin Deans, who's leading the Scottish pack. Both thrilled to be as close as that to the Irish line. Now Tom Smith there is a bit far back. Donal Lenihan is a bit in front of Willie Anderson too. John Beattie has gone into the middle to try and stop Ireland winning ball. Laidlaw to Rutherford. The long pass out to Keith Robertson. That's the chip on as Crossan waits. It's taken there by Dodge. Dodge beautifully tackled by McNeil. The kick on there by Keith Murray. The Irish fullback did well there. And Keith Murray was up in support. John Beattie is second from the end, and it's meant for him, and he gets it. Through there goes Smith. Picked up by Laidlaw. The switch to Rutherford. Out to Robertson. Robertson, lovely bit of acceleration. There's a chance here as Beattie goes for the line. Beattie could have gone himself. It was a chance in a million. I think the big fellow would have made it, but he felt his heel being tapped, and the chance was gone. But what a delightful bit of shimmying and swerving there by Keith Robertson. That's the kind of running that he is capable of.
Yes, it's Keith Robertson here, really, who is such a deft runner, isn't he? Brings it back across the Irish defence. Now, you watch Beattie when he gets hold of the ball. There is a moment where he hesitates. He's not quite sure he's going to make it. And, of course, that ankle tap just tipped him off balance. Surely should have been the score, Bill.
And so, John Beattie hurt.
I think he was probably hurt in that tackle where he almost crossed the line. What you tend to find also with ankle taps, because it's so unexpected, your body might be in a very different position to what you expect it to be. And he's obviously fallen rather awkwardly. Let's hope it's just a momentary problem.
John Beattie this time has decided to go back to his normal position. But Ireland still get fingers to it. Matthews, I think, helped there. Back to Dean. Referee's whistle goes for half-time. And that really has been an astonishing half in many ways. We've seen a revitalised Ireland, an Ireland who have taken the game to Scotland in a very positive way indeed, and yet who come to half-time finding themselves 6-3 down. And to be honest, I suppose they could have been 15-6 up, really. And it's Mike Kiernan who gets it going. John Rutherford, for once, doesn't find touch. McNeil lifts it high. Rutherford back again. Well, he was tight to the touchline. Fitzgerald has a quick throw in. Knocked back to Bradley. There's a real chance here. Kiernan feeding on to Dean. The kick through taken by Dodds. Dodds gives it to Rowan. Rowan out to Laidlaw, but the referee had seen the ball going slightly forward. did in the first minute of the first half are pressing on Scotland's line. The pick up by Spillane, out to Bradley, the feed inside, a beautiful try for England. Brilliantly executed, and the big wing scores his second try in a major international for Ireland, and the Irish are delighted.
Well, the textbook might not say to do this reverse pass, but I love a little touch of individuality like that. For England, it's a formality, but it was Bradley who took the possession from Spillane that really made it. What a delightful score.
Kiernan from the terracing behind the posts. Oh, he struck that well. To 6, Ireland in the lead, and they've played just 2 minutes of the second half. And John Beattie, the Scottish number 8, has left the field. You remember he got the ankle knock when he almost scored a try in the first half. And Scotland, for the moment, are down to 14. Doctor has to decide whether Beattie can resume. And here is number 18. And you couldn't get a more experienced fella coming back on. Scotland's Grand Slam number 8, Ian Paxton, for his 18th international. He's been around before, and right away they get him into the game. Jim Calder picks up. Going round on the wrong side, as Paxton won the ball at the line out. Penalty to Scotland. 50 metres, plus a bit for the angle. Remember, against the Frenchman in the Grand Slam decider last season, this fella kept bringing Scotland back and pushing them ahead. Well, they certainly need a goal kick from Peter William Dodds now, I tell you. Dodds with the little twitter. It looks straight enough. Has it got the legs? Just under the bar. A lovely kick. Yes, he's admiring his handiwork. Another, well, what, half a metre and it was there. Willie Anderson went through, Roy Laidlaw, Jim Calder. But there were 2 knocks on there. Jim Calder of Stuart's Melville FP there, the most capped player from the that club now with 25 internationals. Laidlaw again, the little chip meant for Baird. So the Scottish captain in a 5th major international, Roy Laidlaw, obviously a marked man today because he scored 3 tries against the Irish. And here's a penalty to Scotland.
Yes, we had Matthews taking Laidlaw out of the match a little bit late, just as he kicked the ball.
Peter Dodds with the chance to tie the score. Little wipe of the hands, the little twitter, and plonk. No bother. That cheer almost lifted the roof of this stand, and I think it was as much relief as anything else. But that ties it at 9 points all, and we've played 10 minutes of the second half. And Peter Dodds does it for Scotland once again, lifts his total to 131 points in 12 internationals. Dean, switch to Mullen. Mullen half through, tackled by Robertson. Laidlaw, Rutherford. Laidlaw got it away first. Rutherford was the man who put in the big hat downfield. Now it's Hugo McNeil. Running across, caught by Rutherford. He's in trouble. Down there goes Jim Calder inside the Irish half. The feed on taken on by McGuinness. The drive by Rowan. Now it's back to Laidlaw. The switch to Rutherford. There are men out here as Keith Murray gets it. Keith Murray to Robertson. Robertson kicking through. Down goes Ringland. Brilliant work by the Irishman. But a penalty for a late cat tackle. Taking out the man not in possession. And really, Trevor Ringland will be gnashing his teeth.
Well, this is typical Scotland again, coming back when they were under pressure at the most. Keith Robinson cutting inside his man so easily. Now what was the penalty for? England seemed to have picked up the ball so easily there, but I think that Steve Strider, who's refereeing the match so well, must have picked up a flip back by on Tukalo.
That's the bird's eye view, or rather the worm's view, is it? Dodds then, has he pulled it round? Sneaked over. Scotland lead, 15 minutes of the second half gone, and Peter Dodds has just kicked his 10th goal against Ireland in 3 major internationals. Yes, just get over and no more, he said. He was right, he struck it well. It was always right for direction, but they didn't have suck in their breath as it popped over. Rutherford, good pick-up, tackled by Carr, and there again Brian Matthews goes in. Jim Calder took it in view there as Bradley feeds out to Kiernan, out to Mullen. Ringland trying to go outside Tukalo, tackled by Tukalo. Robertson got a foot to it. But a penalty there, it may have been for a punch thrown after the ball was away. Now, Jim Calder, of course, has been ticked off, and it's a vital area. A bit unlucky in the sense that he was being taken out, but well, the law says you mustn't take the law into your own hands.
It's a case of retaliating and being penalised for it. But Steve Snyder has been very strict this afternoon. I think he's refereed the match exceptionally well.
So Michael Kiernan with a drop goal and a conversion to his credit. It's through, and that's the score, tied again. So Michael Kiernan has enjoyed his matches against Scotland. In the last 2 he scored a try in each, and now 3 goals, 12 points all, and we've about 15 minutes of the match to go. Great hubbub of excitement all round Murrayfield now. Peter Dodds restarts. Ringland calls. Bit of a hook that time. Roy Laidlaw cleverly turned so the ball didn't go forward from him. And really that is strength and power on the run. Out there to Rowan. Laidlaw waiting. Now he gets it. Now it's Rutherford again. That's very high. That's an Australian Gary Owen. McNeil waits, calls for the mark and gets it. Everything right. Stationary. Heel in, clean catch, called for the mark and inside his own 22. Well, that's the only dodgy bit about it. A little bit slice off his right foot. He got a bit of a clatter, I think, as he made the mark. So Grand Slam Scotland against the whitewashed Ireland last season. John Jeffrey goes. Jeffrey still charging on. Hands off McCoy. But McCoy managed to do the needful for Ireland. But John Jeffrey has got himself into this game a lot today. Not easy to follow David Leslie. Bradley Dean, well, he snaked his way through there. This fella is the very man to carry out Mick Doyle's philosophy of trying to handle a lot more than they did. Both hands up, maybe shouting 10 minutes to go, and Paxton takes it. Ian Paxton charging over the 22. Good tackle by Dean. In goes Laidlaw. Laidlaw to Rutherford. Feeds on to Rowan. Rowan feeds on there to Murray. Only 10-12 metres short, Scotland now, as Laidlaw gives it to Tom Smith. Smith going himself. Feeds inside there to Rutherford. Rutherford is there, is he? The referee was beautifully positioned he might just have given Tuchelo a run. Now look how John Rutherford seemed to get to the line, but the referee beautifully positioned, and they've taken them back because he'd seen a previous infringement, and so they get the penalty instead. This for a Scottish lead. Dodge then. Look at that. The flags fly, the crowds cheer, and Scotland lead by 15 points to 12, and they've just 3 minutes of actual playing time to go, and they're the hero of all Scotland at the moment, Peter Dodds. He's so calm about it, he doesn't seem ever to lose his rhythm. Spillane, the man with the pickup. Ireland's forward, still working it over the 22. Now it's Bradley to Dean. Kiernan, Dean on the loop, beautifully out to Mullen. A brilliant score here for England again. He must make it. That was a great try. The Irish are simply ecstatic. As well they deserve to be. And Trevor Ringland of Ballymena, a former pupil of Larne Grammar School, scores his second try of the match. It was a really marvellous try, and it was made by Paul Dean. Now he did a Mark Ella here, he did the pass, then the feed. Now watch Mullins pass there, and then McNeil with that beautifully lobbed pass, and Ringland was wide enough to just escape Tuchelo. It's Michael Kiernan once again, formerly of the Cork club Dolphin, now Lansdowne. Oh, it's another superb effort. Well, the lad who's taken over from Ollie Campbell and Tony Ward has done it again. His fourth goal, including the drop goal. And Ireland 18-15 up, and we're almost into injury time. Loud whistles from the Irish supporters, suggesting to the referee that time should be up. But they've won the ball at the line out again to Dean. Not straight. Great roars of Scotland, Scotland round the ground, just as for the Grand Slam as Ian Paxton tries to go. Rutherford, Robertson. Not a very good pass, but Dodds saved them once again. The feed on to Robertson. Robertson coming out of his own goal line. Robertson once more. It was a brilliant tackle by Bradley, the young Irish scrum half. Now who gets the boot in? Steve Stridham has blown his whistle for the end of the match. And Irish arms are raised aloft. As well they might be, because not only have they won a tremendous victory by 18 points to 15, but in the process they've scored 2 tries to none. And well, you can't argue with that kind of statistic. And so with Ireland winners by 18-15, let's join Gareth Edwards down there in the tunnel.
Well, Kieran, did you think you'd let the opportunity of victory go?
I think it was a very difficult match in the sense that it was well balanced, and they came at us and we ran back at them. So even with 5 or 10 minutes to go, I knew that if we got a good ball we could score. I think there was that kind of a confidence in the side. And just before that scrum we were just saying that all we wanted was one ball for a score. I don't mean that we were big hitting anywhere, but I think that we needed a ball. That's where the game was going. And,
well, I thought you'd been so much in command in the first half that maybe the opportunity you gave Scotland to come back might have taken the game away from you.
Possibly correct. I think we let a couple of chances slip. And obviously the signs of a first outing was there in a championship match. And mind you, very well contested and fought by Scotland. And I think some of our young fellas learned a thing or two, and that you can't afford to let chances like that slip. But I think we have a lot to improve on. We got a victory, but we have a bit to go yet, and look forward to the rest of the season.
Well, Mick Doyle promised us some exciting moves from our young backs today, and that's precisely what we had.
certainly, I think they tried their options. They didn't always come off, mind you, in the sense that I think in championship football they haven't got that much space or that much room, but I think they've learned from that. And full marks for trying them and to have the confidence in the last 5 or 10 minutes to try it again. And I think they'll have learned an awful lot and hope it's looking good.
Well, 2 tries for Trevor England, but I thought that young Paul Dean played exceptionally well today.
In fact, I thought all the backline played well. They're all young guys, and I thought our back row played exceptionally well. The two new caps played very, very well. And I was very pleased with the performance all around with the whole 15.
Well, Nigel Carr looked like a young Slattery, but what about the possession you had from Donald Lenihan?
Yes, well, Donald is a senior member of the pack now, and he's assuming the mantle of Moskeen. So I think he's playing well, and I think the freshness of the younger guys are rubbing off on him. So here's looking forward to playing with Donald again for the rest of the season.
Congratulations and well done.
Thank you.
Well, revenge must be sweet for Ireland's captain, Kieran Fitzgerald. What a turnabout indeed in the space of a year. Beaten last year in Dublin by Scotland by 32 points to 9. This time victory for the Irish at Murrayfield, 18 points to 15. Strange old thing, this international championship. And it proved to be a bit strange too at Twickenham.